Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you is the acronym BBC. And when I say BBC, I'm not talking about the British Broadcasting Channel or Corporation. We're going to look into the origins of this particular word. And it may surprise you that this particular word is very controversial. The origins are of dubious honor, I should say. And not everyone is proud of this particular word. But before going any farther, I must get into the origins of the word. This particular word started off within the LGBT community, more specifically among gay men. Some say around the late 90s, some say in the early 2000s. I first heard the term around 2013. I believe that it's not that old. We can agree that it took off with online. When sites like, let's say, Twitter, Facebook, all of those things became very popular. It's not a very old word, to be honest with you. And what happened was this here. The bright side of the LGBT community is that they can be very colorful, innovative, creative, expressing themselves in a variety of ways, one of which is through words and language. Like all oppressed minority groups, they take an existing word and give it a new meaning, kind of like a twist on words, you can say. And the word BBC has been applied to the appendage of black men. With the term BBC as pretty much a new acronym of a male body part, we can see that it has a history along with outing, which the LGBT community gave new meaning to about 25 years ago. No, it didn't mean taking an outing. We know that outing now means to out someone of their sexuality. Other words in which the LGBT community has come up with are words like down low. This is the black LGBT community right here. The down low word is, and it doesn't mean lying down low. Or you can say it's similar, kind of hiding one's preference, so to say. Gaydar, trade, twink, raw, bareback. Bareback is, interestingly enough, the original word for bareback was when one rode a horse without a saddle, and they called it bareback. But the LGBTQ community, the gay community, the G of it, used it as a sexual terms as in raw. So as you can see, these words are funny, they're catchy, they're innovative, and like all small communities, larger dominant communities would take the word. And usually when that happens, we have more people of that community will use the words as opposed to the original inventors of the word. The reason why the LGBT community is only 4% of the U.S. population. And it pretty much goes along with 4% of every ethnic groups. You can say 4% of Caucasian white ethnic groups, 4% of the black population, 4% of the Hispanic Latino, 4% of the Asian. That's pretty steady. And I would agree that that's pretty true. So the term BBC Now, this particular term evolved, this acronym evolved within the gay community. And let me tell you something, gay black men were not pleased with it. They have fought this term from the very inception. In 2017, an article came out in Query where it was almost like enough is enough. And this writer says, gay men, please stop using the term BBC. It's racist, blogger says. And it goes on to say, it's time to retire the term BBC and stop fetishizing black men. So for a lot of black men, gay black men, this particular term is rooted in racism, fetishization, objectification, and stereotypes. Not anything to be flattered or feel enamored about. However, I'm going to tell you something, but before I do, I want to show you, this is the second most popular gay black porn star in the world. Max Connor, he goes on to say, I hate when guys refer to my dick as a BBC or anything along those lines. You don't specifically refer the color of a white dick. I'm not a fetish. I'm a human being. So what he said is the truth. You don't hear the term for white men, B white C, or big white cock. You don't hear the term for Asian men, BAC, big Asian cock, or Hispanic, BHC. You only hear the term BBC for black men. So gay black men took it upon themselves to fight this particular term. And here's a little bit of what people had to say about it. You can read this. I feel so objectified. At the bottom, yes, it's tired, offensive term, but seriously, QWERTY. Profile of some black men, other POCs, me, change. Didn't quite understand that. Okay, someone says right here, BWC is an acronym. I get it. Big white cock, you don't hear that term right there. So obviously the term is objectifying black men, or the anatomy of black men. So here we go right here with more to say on this particular subject. As a black gay man, I'm constantly reduced to outdated racist stereotypes when online dating. Many of these stereotypes does evolve around certain terms, BBC, that a lot of gay black men do not like. Fetishism and a crisis of connection. It talks about that, where men pretty much are valued based upon how big they are. And one of the questions, the first questions that gay men tend to get is, how big is your dick? We'll move on right here. Okay, 16 most popular BBC porn stars. Now here's where things take a turn. They take a turn right here because, as I had mentioned before, gay black men from the very start had a problem with that particular word and protested about its usage, its meaning, its origin from day one. It's not a term that gay black men use towards each other. The majority do not particularly use that term. But for some strange reason, it has become much more popular in straight porn. And it is much more popularly used among straight men now, straight black men. How ironic is that? I want you to take a look at this. And look to the left. And so, as you have seen, straight porn, straight men, the straight side has pretty much taken that word over. And I don't think that straight black men are aware of the roots of that particular word, the controversy that's surrounding it. I believe that a lot of them think that because they can benefit from the word, or they believe that they're benefiting from the word, and somehow it's something of endowment, it's something to be proud of, that I just don't believe they care, to be honest with you. It's almost like someone else went to the forefront or the front of the lines to fight for it. And some people are kind of like reaping the benefits. But, however, is it really a benefit? I do not believe that it is a benefit. It's almost like someone keeping the N word alive. One group has fought to end it, other groups have fought to extend it. Now you have black men, I believe, that through porn influence, not always, are somehow believing that it's a thing to be desired by other women. And you have these non-black women who are telling black men that they're not their preference, that they prefer other men within their ethnicity as their preference. They find them more attractive. And what do you have black men? They just can't accept it. They just do not believe it. Because many of them, as I have pointed out, really believe that their BBC accounts for something. But here's the idea of straight black men taking this particular term and what they're not understanding is that the BBC and the gay community among gay men have more power than that it does in a straight community. Among women, it does not carry that much weight nor power because men are different. Their uptake of sex and how they go about seeking it and what they desire is completely different than women. Even their questioning, you know how big you are, is going to be completely different than what turns on women per se. Women are more turned on by personality, by confidence, by height. But with men, the first question is how big are you? So that particular term is just not going to carry the same power among women as it does among gay men. And you see, black men are not really understanding this when they use that particular term or try to be proud of a term that they don't really understand the origins of it. When white women go online and tell them that you're not our preference right there, or they're talking about them, they truly can't accept it. They want to make a claim that no, black woman made this particular, what is this? They made up these particular memes. They made up these particular emails and things like that, or online chat forms. And no, it's just white women expressing or others expressing that it doesn't mean that much to them. That you as a black male, even with the BBC, is not a big turn on to them. So that would be the caveat of a lot of gay men who may say things like, why are they keeping a term alive? Well, obviously they think it benefits them, but it doesn't. And this particular term, I believe, is definitely offensive. It should be retired. I agree with that. Nothing to be proud of. Who's going to be proud of to being objectified? Who's going to be proud of, to be thought of as just a fetish, as a piece of meat? You got to be foolish to want to keep that alive or to apply that to yourself. But if you're dumb and deaf, you don't really understand the meaning of it, you have no idea as to where it came from, and you just don't give a damn, of course you're going to continue to use it. So it's time to retire the term BBC and stop fetishizing black men. Of course it is. It's been time to stop doing that. But you cannot control people. What gay black men are going to have to do is just stop using it among themselves and let the straight black men take it and continue to be rejected by it. By the way, women are more turned on by power status. You can have a small deformed dick. As long as you have power and status, that's going to be more of a turn on than a BBC. Yes, the origins of this particular word is rooted in racism, white supremacy, fetishism, objectification. The roots are all there. There is nothing positive about that particular word. So if people want to bring that type of negative energy in their life and upon them with a low vibrational word that is not uplifting at all, I say let them. Let them have it and keep it. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you beyond and through.